Good afternoon and welcome to the Employment Authorization Info Session for F-1 students. My name is Lisa Lyons and I am the Senior International Student Advisor at the International Student Center. As you may know, international students who are in the US on an F-1 student visa have special rules and restrictions that are imposed on you by the US government for off-campus jobs, internships, and volunteering. We realize that it can be challenging sometimes to find an internship or an employment opportunity. And it's important for you to know the steps that you will need to take so that you can legally do the internship or the job off campus. We don't want you to lose your legal immigration status in the US or have any problems because you are working without authorization in a job or internship off campus. So first of all, we're going to, again, this is for F-1 students. So if you are here on a J-1 visa, then this information actually does not apply to you. But in today's presentation, we'll be briefly reviewing information about on-campus employment and off-campus employment. And under the off-campus employment, we'll be talking about curricular practical training or CPT, and also optional practical training known as OPT. And then we'll also briefly be reviewing information about Social Security number at the end. So first of all, for on-campus employment, if you are interested in getting a job and working on campus, while school is in session, you are able to work a maximum of 20 hours per week in a campus job. During official school breaks, like spring break, like this week, summer break and winter break, then you are allowed to work up to 40 hours a week in your campus job. During COVID, it is okay to work a campus job virtually if you are in the US. And when you're doing job searches, sometimes you'll see federal work study, jobs designated as federal work study. And unfortunately, that is not an option because that is a US government financial aid assistance option for American citizens or permanent residents. So for off-campus employment, the general term for that is called practical training. And this could mean any paid or unpaid off-campus employment, internship, or volunteering that is directly related to your major. So it doesn't matter if the position is paid or unpaid. You are eligible for practical training after studying an F-1 status after one academic year. So that's 2 semesters. Practical training does require special authorization to work the opportunity. That authorization will either come from our office, the International Student Center, or from USCIS, which is US Citizenship and Immigration Services. And again, as I mentioned before, there's curricular practical training, which is CPT, and optional practical training, or OPT. So first of all, we'll look at the CPT information. So general information for CPT. This does happen during your degree program. It is, again, required for all off-campus jobs, internships, or volunteering that's directly related to your major, whether it's paid or unpaid. And it does need to be directly related to your major field of study. Unfortunately, if you have a minor, you cannot do CPT in your minor. Not all majors are eligible for CPT, so you would definitely want to contact your academic department to see if there is a CPT option for you. For eligibility based on an internship course, you must be enrolled in the internship course before we can authorize you to do the CPT opportunity. The ISC authorizes CPT, and we do that 1 semester at a time. The maximum hours per week that you can work on CPT is 20 hours per week for an undergrad, or if you're at the master's level, student master's or doctoral level, then you can work up to 40 hours per week on CPT. If you do have a campus job and you're an undergraduate student, then between the campus job and the CPT, you are limited to 20 hours per week during the school year. Full-time CPT is allowed for up to 12 months, but you are not guaranteed to get 12 months of full-time CPT. It just depends on where you are in your degree program. And also, if you do 12 months or more of full-time CPT, then that would make you ineligible to apply for OPT. We'll briefly go over the CPT application steps. So number one, you want to check with your academic department. See if you are eligible to do the job or internship that you would like to do off campus. Number two, you'll search for that off-campus opportunity. And that's one of the reasons why we have Vivian here. Then after you are offered the position, then you will ask them, the company, for a job or internship offer letter. After you get that letter, then you will fill out our CPT application form. We have that online on our CPT webpage. And then once you fill that out online, then you will fill it out. It's a PDF. Then you will send it to the department advisor with the job or the internship offer letter. And then they'll need to complete it and sign it as well. After they fill out their section of the CPT application form and send it back to you, then you will enroll in the internship course if that's applicable. After the ad drop deadline, you also must submit a petition for late schedule adjustment to the registrar's office if you are qualifying for CPT through enrollment in an internship course. And then the last step would be uploading the completed CPT form and the job offer letter to our ISC form, which is called the CPT request form. And just to note, our processing time is 7 business days, which does not include weekends. So you definitely want to make sure that you upload the documents at least 7 business days or more, if possible, before you wish to begin that CPT opportunity. And you will need a longer amount of time if you also have to submit the petition to the registrar's office to enroll in the internship course. This is what our CPT application form looks like, the PDF. If you notice at the bottom of the form in the academic department recommendation section, there were 3 boxes here that the academic advisor will choose to select one of. So it says, I certify that the proposed training is an integral part of the established curriculum for the student's major, and they select one of the 3 boxes. The first one is the training is a required part of the program. So this is basically if every single student getting your degree has to do an internship off campus. So there's very few majors that require an internship for the degree. But if yours is one of them, then your advisor can check that box. The second box, the training is optional and will be taken for unit credit. That is the majority of our students. That's how the majority of them will qualify to do CPT. And then the academic advisor has to write in the course name or number. And then that's the course that you have to enroll in before we can authorize your CPT. The final box, the third box, the training is optional and will be taken as part of the thesis or dissertation. So this is only open to students who are pursuing a master's or doctoral degree, and that the internship or the opportunity is related to their thesis or dissertation. Again, that is rare, doesn't happen very often, but it does happen on occasion. So that's just a brief look at our CPT form. Okay, now we'll talk a little bit about OPT, or optional practical training. So just some general information about OPT. All students are allowed 12 months of OPT for each degree level. Again, you cannot have more than 12 months of full-time CPT. All majors are eligible for OPT. You can use it during your degree program or after you complete your program. You do not need the job to apply for OPT, so that's different from CPT. CPT, you definitely had to have the job first and then apply for the CPT authorization. But with OPT, you can apply for the OPT work authorization first, even if you don't have a job. And the majority of our students do apply for OPT before even procuring a job. The OPT application goes to U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, and it can take 2 to 3 months for approval. Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. It just depends on how quickly USCIS is processing applications. OPT, just like CPT, does need to be directly related to your major, not your minor. And then there are 2 types of OPT. We have pre-completion OPT or pre-OPT, and then post-completion OPT or post-OPT for short. So first of all, we'll go over the pre-OPT general information. So when would you apply for pre-OPT? You would apply for pre-OPT if you're still working on your degree program or towards your degree and you don't qualify for CPT. So let's say you check with your academic department. The internship is not required for your degree, but they do not offer an internship class that you could enroll in order to qualify for CPT. So but you really, really want to take advantage of this job or internship opportunity because it would be good experience for you. So if that's your situation, then you could then apply for pre-OPT and then work in the off-campus job or internship through pre-OPT. You do want to apply 2 to 4 months before the date that you would like to begin the opportunity. And for pre-OPT, when school is in session, you are allowed to work a maximum of 20 hours per week. That is regardless of your degree level that you're in, bachelor's, master's, doctoral, 20 hours per week is the max. And then during official school breaks, then you can work up to 40 hours per week. You can choose how much of your 12 months that you would like to have your total OPT that you'd like to apply for. So maybe you just want to use pre-OPT for 1 summer before your last semester of college, of university. So in that case, you would just be using 3 months of pre-OPT, and that would be deducted from your 12 months of total OPT that you are allotted for your degree level. And then just the final piece about pre-OPT is that it ends when you graduate or during your last semester of enrollment at SCSU, so it cannot extend beyond graduation. Okay, let's move on to post-completion OPT or post-OPT. This is the 99% of our students who apply for OPT, they're applying for post-OPT. So just some general information. You can apply for the full 12 months of OPT if you haven't used any pre-completion OPT. You can apply for it after completion of all the degree requirements. So that's the majority of our students. You'll be on OPT after you've graduated or after you completed all your classes, your thesis, etc. However, master's or doctoral students, you can be finishing up your thesis or your project or your comp exams and also be working on OPT. So that is a possibility for you. You don't have to be officially graduated to be on post-OPT. If you're a bachelor's degree student, then you do have to have completed all of your classes, all of your degree requirements in order to apply for post-OPT. But for your master's and doctoral students, if it looks like you still need some extra time to finish your thesis or your dissertation and you don't qualify for CPT, then you'll definitely want to meet with an ISC advisor to discuss when you should be applying for post-completion OPT. When you have the OPT authorization, then you do need to be working. However, the US government will allow you to have a maximum of 90 days of unemployment. So it's nice because they know it takes a little time to find a job, or sometimes you might change jobs in the middle of OPT. So they do allow you up to 90 days of unemployment during that year of OPT. The employment can be paid or unpaid. It can be an official job, it can be internship, and it can be volunteering that's directly related to your field of study. Applying for OPT. So first of all, the first thing you want to do is check our webpage. That's pretty typical of anything that you have a question of about immigration. Is first of all, check our webpage. We've got a lot of information, a lot of resources on there. So just Google SDSU ISC OPT, and that will pop up our webpage. You'll see the OPT application information. You'll also see our OPT application review session calendar. So you will be required to attend an OPT application session. That is part of the process. And you can apply up to 90 days before the completion of your program. The final application deadline is the end of the 60-day grace period. So after you finish your final classes, then you will have a 60-day grace period, which begins after the term ends. And I'll show you a little diagram of that on the next screen, and it'll make a little more sense. And then again, if you're a master's or doctoral student and you still need additional time to finish your thesis or comp exams or something, and you're not sure when to apply for post-completion OPT, please meet with an ISC advisor and we can help you work out that application timeline. Okay, so here is our post-OPT application timeline. The last day of this semester is May 20th, 2022, according to the SDSU academic calendar. So that's the date that that we will be using for, and the US government will be using for your OPT application timeline. So even if you finish all your classes and your degree requirements this semester, but maybe you forgot to apply for graduation for this semester, and so maybe you're going to complete everything this semester, but you don't officially graduate until summer, US immigration will still treat you as a spring graduate. So for immigration, these are still the dates that you will be relying on. So there you do get, again, a 60-day grace period that starts the day after the spring semester ends. So it starts on May 21st, and the last day of the grace period is July 19th. And so, and that is the final deadline that you can apply for OPT. So the earliest date to apply for OPT has already passed. So we're definitely in the OPT application period. And then if you're interested in applying for OPT, then I definitely encourage you to either talk to an ISC advisor first if you're not completing all your degree requirements this semester, or if you are, go ahead and schedule requests to join one of our OPT sessions. We do offer them every week, and we try to offer them on different days and times to accommodate a variety of schedules. So speaking of the OPT application review session, just again, you do need to attend one of the sessions before you can apply for OPT. Currently, the sessions are online via Zoom. We may change that in future semesters, but for this semester, we're still doing it by Zoom. You do need to prepare specific documents in advance before you attend the meeting, and that information, again, along with the session dates, can be found on our OPT webpage. Okay, some of you have heard about the STEM OPT extension. So that is available to you if you are on the first year of post-completion OPT and you have not had more than 90 days of unemployment, and you are in, your major was in what's considered a STEM field according to the US Department of Homeland Security. So obviously STEM is stands for science, technology, engineering, or math. Most of your degrees, that you know that if it's a STEM field or not. But if you're unsure, you're welcome to contact the ISC, and will be happy to let you know if it's a STEM field or not. If it is, then you would be able to submit a second application for the STEM OPT extension, and that extends your OPT for an additional 24 months, so a total of 3 years of OPT. The deadline for the STEM OPT application is actually the last day of your post OPT. So you don't have to worry about the STEM OPT application right now. But I just wanted to let you know, when you're thinking about that, just Google SDSU ISC STEM OPT, and that will take you to our webpage, which has all the information and then application instructions. Okay, the last thing that I wanted to touch on is about a social security number or SSN. A lot of you have heard about SSNs. Maybe some of you even have one right now, but just a couple facts. As an international student on an F-1 student visa, you're only able to obtain an SSN if you have authorized employment, whether on campus or off campus. And then also, after you get signed your SSN, it's yours for life. So you will not get any other SSN. It will be the same number for the rest of your life. So if you get a campus job and you don't have an SSN, then you will submit your Social Security verification form and your campus job offer letter to our online ISC form, Social Security request form. And after you get the form back from us, then you'll go ahead and want to visit our Social Security webpage for information about how to apply for the SSN. If you want to do CPT and you get CPT authorization from our office, then what you'll need to do is submit after you get the new I-20 from our office with the CPT authorization, then you will take that to Social Security office for your appointment in order to apply for the SSN. And if you apply for OPT, then and you don't have an SSN at that time, then the SSN application is actually part of the OPT application process, which is great. So you would get the OPT work authorization, and then a few weeks later, you would get the Social Security card with your SSN. Okay. So as a reminder, today's meeting is being recorded, and it will be posted on our ISC educational workshops and info sessions webpage within 1 week. But before we get to the questions, I am going to now turn it over to Vivian Jin from SDSU Career Services. Vivian was an international student herself at SDSU. She earned her bachelor's and her master's degrees at SDSU, and she has now worked with students at SDSU for about 11 years. So we're really happy that she is here to join us and to share an overview of SDSU Career Services. Vivian?
Thank you, Lisa. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. And let me just share my screen first. Can you guys see my screen? Yes? Lisa? Okay. Thank you. I like those emojis. So can you
We can see your comments too.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me just take that out. Yeah. So how about that? Good?
Good.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Lisa, again. Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for inviting me to introduce career service to our wonderful international student and our wonderful immigration advisor, Lisa Leung at IC. So before I started, I want to ask everybody here, students, we do a little bit survey. I hope you are not falling asleep. So how many of you heard about career services? Okay, how many of you heard about career services at once? Oh, you raised the hand. Okay, so yeah, since we have a very small number students, you just use the function like raise your hand. Okay, so okay, we have one student. Okay, one student. Okay, okay, thank you. And how many of you actually visit career services virtually or physically? Raise your hand, please. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Nobody. Okay, so I take that as a yes. Okay, we have one student. Okay, and okay, thank you. And how many of you have ever met physically or virtually with one of our career counselors so far, at least for once, including our career peers, our students, you know, as student assistants? Nobody. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for your help. This is really helpful and make me understand better, you know, where we are and if we are on the same page and how much you all know about career services. Again, my name is Vivian Jin. I'm the Career Development and Program Coordinator at Career Services, and my mainly focused student population is undeclared students and also international students. Currently, we have 3 career counselors in this office. So even though we have a different designated college or student population, but we are open to all the students population plus our own focus student group. So as a career services, we offered, you know, like a career peer presentation and career and internship fair and networking opportunity, and also the resource and assessment test and tours. And also we also review your resume, your cover letter, and we help you to do your mock interview before your real job interview. And also we help the students to explore the major and major related career and also job search and internship search. So we also offer career services, career success events throughout the year. And for example, we offer 8 career fairs on each academic year. And also we have the career development workshop and a panel discussion. And we also connect employers, and we have an employer come over to our center and giving the info sessions to our students. And on top of that, we also have the career periods. We can review your resume and we do the walk-ins and drop-ins by the Resumania. So why we talk about the resume over and over again? So how long do you think it takes to create a competitive resume? Okay, you can just unmute yourself and see it, or just put the number in chat. So, you know, let's say you think it's like a 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, or even 1 day, 24 hours. And just throw me the number. Oh, okay, we have one chat. 2 days, great. Anyone else? 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, good. All right. So let's see. Okay, I'm not going to give you the right answer or wrong answer. Well, it really depends on your situation. So all the answer is good answer, but I'm so glad you guys not seeing 24 hours or 1 day. Okay. Okay, so on top of the resume, I would really recommend, highly recommend you start to build up your networking and through those like a wonderful free program at our center. For example, we have an Aztec mentor program. The program is open to every single student, not freshman, not sophomore, but junior, senior, and our grad students, including international students. Through the Aztec Mentor Program, we connect a mentor in your area of interest and learn more about this field. And also we provide opportunity to develop your professional networking, job shadow, and visit a job site even and more. And again, this Aztec Mentor Program open to all the juniors, seniors, and grad students. And we also offer this free online resources on our center. And for example, we have a Going Global, Parker Dewey. This is tool for the macro internship, also worldwide job and internship listed. And we also have a very wonderful online resource we called ONET Online. And within the ONET Online, our students will just match the students' interest and work value with these occupations. And we also have a big interview or mock interview we offer to all our students. And by the big interview, and you can do your interview preparation and features video lessons and recorded interview practice by yourself. And the mock interview, you can book with one of our career counselor and do the one-on-one, just coaching and mock interview before your job interview. And again, remember when we talk about this, and you have to talk with the immigration advisor at ISC, and before you applying any job, and because we have to maintain our legal status first. And if you feel like, what do you talk about? I have no idea what I'm going to do. I even don't understand this. No worries. Our center also offer this free, wonderful assessment test. We have so many, and I would highly recommend 2 assessment tests. One is Type Focus 7. Have you all heard about this, or even you did this before? Raise your hand. Okay, so strong interest inventory. No, okay, good. So the Type Focus 7 is the assessment test that focus on your personality and your interest and the career options. And also strong interest inventory, which will help the students match your interest with the potential career opportunities. And the Type Focus is a free assessment, and also the strong interest inventory. Normally they cost $10 for each test, but during the pandemic, they waived the $10 fee. So what you need to do is just, submit the request Google form, and the Google form come to our office, and our office manager, Michelle, will send you the link with this free test. And after you're done for the test and the report come to our office again, and one of our career counselor or staff member will sit with you and go over the test. So I actually personally did the strong interest inventory before, and which is really, really helpful. So, okay, so there's so many great resources, right? So, but where I'm started and where can I find this information, right? So just breathe. So I love beach, so I always put the beach or some beach related picture in my presentation, because I personally, like Lisa mentioned, I was international student before. I really, really understand how stressful and how how busy and how have no idea our international student when they start with this job searching or internship searching. Oh, somebody might just think this is too much to handle, forget it, right? So I would really recommend start to think again, plan ahead, and the time is everything. Okay, so just think about, when you just do the backwards, like Lisa explained before, just have a time mapping in your mind and just do the backwards math and just think about where should I start. And before that, and then knowing the rules, immigration rules, and the working regulations. Do you have to apply for social security number? Are you familiar with the regulation about CPT or OPT? And also using our career service resource wisely. So we're here to help you, right? And do the networking through the LinkedIn Aztec Mentor Program, and come to our career fairs and talk to employers. And we have so many employers, they open to hire international students. Don't limit it yourself just because you are international student. And do your own research on this company who hired international student, who cannot hire international student. And again, stay positive and be ready and think about, do you have your resume? Do you have your cover letter? And are you familiar with the big interview? Do you want to do the mock interview? Right? So you have so many stuff, but you have to take the baby step and in the beginning and do the one thing at a time, and don't be stressed out. We are here again to help you. And how many of you are familiar with the handshake? Yay, good. Okay, so if you are not, we have two students. Oh, I'm so excited. So if you are not familiar with handshake, and every single SDSU students, and you have handshake account already, you just need to active them. Okay, so through the handshake account, we post all the internship and the job fair information, employer info session, on-campus interview, upcoming event, and also you can make appointment with one of our career counselors. So all those resource information are available through the handshake. I would, if you have not done so, I would also highly recommend you start to check your handshake today, okay? And start to check your handshake every day and be familiar with, play with it. And also we have a drop-in schedule. If you are very busy with your class and you have so many homeworks, a project done, so you don't have to worry about make appointment. You can come in and drop in. We have a drop-in schedule on our website. You can come over and meet with one of our wonderful career peer to review your resume and you navigate the resource available for you. And here is a little demo. Let me see if it works. Okay, yeah, it works. Thank you. And I am amazed this link also worked. So this is the little demo video and show you how to navigate your handshake account and also, how to make appointment with one of our career counselors. So if you haven't done so, please check you and your handshake and play with it. And it's all free for you. Okay, right? Why not, right? And if you have not visited us physically or virtually, and you have no idea where we are on campus, we are located at Student Service East 1200, and just cross from where you get your ID, student ID card. And our office hour is Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Okay, you can also follow us through the Instagram, and also, if you have a LinkedIn page, you can connect with your fellow STAX or STF, or followed SDSU alumni group, and through your LinkedIn account. And again, thank you. It is my pleasure to give you the overview about career services. And if you have some questions, we have a time and we can just do the Q&A. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Vivian. And